Now, when you hear the word mythology or myth, you're probably going to go back to middle school when you learned about the Greek gods and the Greek mythologies, how they had no written word, and because of that, the stories that they told once were told twice, were retold 10 times, and every time the story got bigger and better until eventually it reached epic proportion. I would like to suggest that we have a modern mythology, a mythology of the present day. These are myths that start as an ordinary real story and then grow into something epic, and it's not because we lack the accountability of the written word, but in fact we have too much of the written word. Social media, YouTube, bogus stuff that we say about ourselves on LinkedIn, Wikipedia. So I want to take this the next step and to talk about some modern day personas. These are characters that show up over and over and over again in our very best and brightest modern day myths. There's the business builder and seller. Be careful of that guy. There's the me against the world. And that's when you isolate yourself from anyone who outnumbers you, pretend that they're out to get you and to stop you, and then you become a hero without losing anything while gaining everything. There's the financier, if I said that correctly. These look different whether they're in New York on Wall Street or they're in Silicon Valley as venture capitalists. There's the media mogul, but the one we're going to talk about today is the myth of Steve Jobs.
3 things: a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone.
When we look back at the life of Steve Jobs, of course we can point to all the awesome products that he created, the revolutionary ideas that he had, and inevitably we end up talking about the man. We talk about his personality traits, we talk about perseverance, creativity, hard work, a man who believed that the world could be better and he would be persistent and never give up until we arrived at that place. If you read his biography, you can also see that Steve Jobs never let the truth get in the way of a good story. He exaggerated, he lied, at times he pretended the laws of gravity could be ignored. Sometimes he was right, other times he was wrong. Now, I'm not here to undermine Steve Jobs. I'm not here to undermine what he did. In fact, it's the opposite. I'm very indebted to everything. Our entire studio is built around Apple. The work that we do every day, the work you're watching here, this video that's edited together and put on YouTube, we did this on an Apple computer. Everything we do is built with an Apple computer. But as a culture, we've become so in love with the Steve Jobs story and the story of what he created that we have willfully ignored some facts in his life. We've allowed parts of his story to grow to epic, mythical proportions. So let me illustrate my point like this. Right now on Twitter, there's probably 10,000 people who are pretending to be their own version of Steve Jobs. There's probably twice that number on LinkedIn, and right now there's probably 400 or 500 meetings, presentations being given by people who've adopted the Steve Jobs persona in order to push their company forward. So in some ways, if you adopt this persona, it's a cheat code in the modern world of influence. Your story will be told and then retold. You will find yourself in front of large audiences that are offline and online, and the good news is that people may never fact check your stories. But when you adopt this persona, what do you lose? You lose the deep-rooted confidence that can only come from being authentically who you were created to be. You lose the countercultural grit that is required for you to become a true thought leader. Because all of your adversity was made up or exaggerated, you're not able to handle real adversity when it comes your way. In short, you will have a glorious but hollow existence. A man of his age, a prisoner of the moment. So when it comes time to tell your own story, whether it's here on YouTube, whether it's your profile description on Twitter, or whether it's the story you tell day after day on Instagram or Facebook, ask yourself the question, is the life I'm living conveniently following the persona of a modern day myth? Where should I be brave? Why should I stand alone? How can I resist the temptation to be popular and live unlike anyone else? This is the only way true history is made.